It is Chuck Zito, the beast from the east, and you better be watching Muscle in the Morning, or else.
Welcome back to another edition of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by Iron Mag Labs. I'm your host, Pete the Producer, here to bring you all the latest news in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. It's January 24th, 2014, and on today's show, Nicole Wilkinson out of the Arnold Classic, IFBB Pro Jeff Long and GoDaddy commercial, the scoop on Troy Alves' retirement, and Stan McQuay in the Iron Asylum. Plus, stay tuned for the answer to yesterday's trivia question, only on Muscle in the Morning. Three-time Miss Figure Olympian and Arnold Classic International champ Nicole Wilkinson announces a last-minute decision to pull out of the Miss Figure International. Nicole unfortunately is suffering from a shoulder injury that will prevent her from training for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Wilkins says, "I originally suffered from the injury in October and had to stop training most upper body movements for a little over a month. Without giving enough time to rest, Nicole says the injury needs time, but expects to be back training in full force to defend her Olympia title in September." As mentioned previously on Muscle in the Morning, GoDaddy was recording a commercial to be aired during the Super Bowl with NASCAR star Danica Patrick dressed in a muscle suit hitting the streets with some other bodybuilders. Among them, we see IFBB Pro Jeff Long looking very off-season-ish with other famous faces such as Cali Muscle and Brad Rowe. Keep an eye out for this commercial during the Super Bowl. After 20 years of competing, Troy Alves recently decided to hang up the trunks and enter retired life, despite still making progress later in his career. Without too much explanation, Troy announced he will no longer compete, but will continue to be part of the bodybuilding community. Troy recently joined RX Muscle on this week's edition of Heavy Muscle Radio, with Dave Palumbo and Chris Aceto to talk about his retirement and what's to come in the future. You can download this week's episode on the homepage of rxmuscle.com. Returning 212 bodybuilder Stan McQuay hits back in the Iron Asylum with RX Muscle. Stan walks us through his training in specific detail, as well as talks about his prep for the Arnold 212. Find this video as well on the homepage of rxmuscle.com. Now for the answer to yesterday's trivia question. The question was, name this young bodybuilder shown here. And the answer, Zach Kahn. Shout out to forum member Pitbull9 and Callan Tackett and Too Big from YouTube for the correct answer. Now for today's trivia question. Zach Kahn had competed in the same contest 8 different years before finally taking the win. What contest was this and what year? Don't forget to tune in on Monday for the answer. And that does it for another edition of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by Iron Mag Labs. I'm your host, Pete the Producer. See you on Monday, and make sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook.